Annoying, I have to save my money. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about how to save money. I've been trying to do a few videos to help prepare for the new year, and one big thing I want to start doing January 1 is really saving all of my money. Really, this is something I'm going to start after Christmas because of course I'm buying people gifts and all of that jazz. So saving my money isn't necessarily a priority right this second. I always try to save, but I'm spending a lot of extra money than I usually would due to the holidays. So starting January 1st, I really want to buckle down on saving. You might have totally different reasons than I do. For me, I have a new baby in our lives. He is 3.5 months old now, and I really think it's important that I start thinking of his future and my future and start putting a lot of money away. My husband and I both really want to buy our first home, hopefully next year, but we don't know for sure. That is our goal, is maybe in like 6 months or so to buy our first house. So I really want to start putting money away so that we, one, have enough money for a down payment, but also that way we have a big cushion if things go wrong or if we need to do some updates to that new home. So there's a lot of things that I'm saving money for, and that's one really important thing you have to do is establish your reason, establish your why, and make sure to really hone in on that because that is going to be your motivation to get through all of these steps. So my very first tip is record all of your expenses. What I suggest that you do is once you record that list, put it in order from most important to least important. That way, the least important things that you spend your money on are at the bottom of the list, and what's important to you may be completely different than what's important to me. For example, if I had a gym membership, which I don't, then it would probably be at the bottom of my list because most likely I don't make it to the gym very often because I'm lazy AF. But if you are somebody that goes to the gym every day, you're religious about working out, then that's probably a higher priority for you because that's something that you really utilize and you consider a necessity. Tip number 2 is cancel everything that you can. For example, a long time ago, we were paying for both cable and internet. But nowadays, with things like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, you don't really need cable unless there's very specific things that you like to watch that you can only watch having cable. And honestly, that probably saves us like $30 to $50 each month, depending on whatever package we choose. And so that was completely worth it because on top of cable, we were also paying for Netflix and Hulu. And so canceling cable was a great way for us to save some money. So find things that you don't really need that you might be paying for and do what you can to cancel them. Another great example is my husband and I both pay for Amazon Prime, and I've talked about this in a different video, but I am canceling my Amazon Prime as soon as the holidays are over. I utilize it a lot to get Christmas gifts because it is free 2-day shipping, and you find a lot of great deals on Amazon, but as much as it pains me, I'm going to cancel my Amazon. This is going to save me tons of money because I impulse buy. I'll have an idea of something that would be really nice or convenient, and I'm like, oh, let's go see if they have it on Amazon. And they do. It's only $15 and it can be here for free in 2 days. Yeah, that's a problem because that adds up. I'm telling you. So anyway, just do what you can to cancel anything that you don't use, and that's going to save you lots of money. My third tip is to budget. I think that it's very important to create yourself a budget, and I find it so important that I'll probably do an entirely separate video just dedicated to budgeting. But as for now, just a little summary is my recommendation is to just make a list again of all of your expenses. But this time, put it in order of when it's actually due. So for example, if your rent or mortgage is due at the 1st, that would be the top of your list. And I'll go in more detail if I do a budgeting video, but just list out all of them in order of when they're due that month, and then maybe put an estimate of when it's due and how much it's going to cost. And that way it's kind of like a checklist that you can use every single month. I actually have a document I made that's super simple on Word, and it's more or less a checklist. And so in my budgeting video, I'll make sure to provide that as a print off or something so you guys can use it too. And I feel like tracking all of my bills that way really makes me feel better that I got everything paid. I actually have it organized to where I pay everything off on the 15th of the month every single month, and then I'm done. I don't have to worry about any bills the rest of the month. So We'll talk about that in more detail, but budgeting is, I think, extremely important in saving money because you're giving all of your money a place to go. My fourth tip is to only buy what you need. I was always taught that if you don't want to spend money, don't go anywhere. But with online shopping nowadays, that's pretty much impossible to live by because you can literally buy anything with your fingertips. So a few little tips is, like I am doing, I'm canceling Amazon Prime, so maybe cancel any subscriptions that make it easier for you to shop online, or maybe delete the apps that you use most frequently for shopping. I know you could easily re-download the app, but maybe just not seeing it there all the time or not having it conveniently located on your phone might help a little bit. But what you might want to do if you really can't control this is to take out the cash that you are allotted each month to spend on, clothes or fun or Starbucks, whatever your guilty pleasure is, and keep it in cash in your wallet. And that way you don't have the money to go shopping online, so you actually physically have to go somewhere to spend that cash. And if you're like me, you don't get out that much, so I might not spend that money. But also when you go, you'll have cash in hand. So if you go to Target, which is one of my guilty pleasures, and you see a cute shirt that's $40, and you look at your cash and you only have $53, if that money has to last you for another couple of weeks, are you really gonna waste it on that shirt? Now, if it's like a super dope shirt, maybe, but it might help control your spending if you know exactly how much you have, it's in your hands, you can see it, you can smell it, you can breathe it, you may not spend it. Tip number 5, make it fun. Have a competition with yourself or others. This may sound lame, but I think it really works. For example, my dad and my stepmom actually were telling me that not long ago they both had credit card debt and they were racing to see who could pay it off first. And that really worked. I mean, they paid them off extremely quick because they were making it a competition. So you could play a game with your spouse or a friend, just make it a competition. But you could also make it a competition just for yourself. You could after a certain amount of time, if you saved a certain amount of money, you're allowed to reward yourself with a Starbucks or, something, maybe a new shirt or something like that. So just making it fun will take that annoying, I have to save my money thing out of it. I feel like it just kind of brightens the mood. It just makes it more fun. I don't know. Just do that. Tip number 6 is declutter. I actually did an entire video about how to declutter your life, and I'll have that in the cards and also below. But why it's important for saving money is because you have no idea what you may have hidden in your cabinets and your closets. I have 2 examples that just happened within the last month where I went out and bought something because I thought we needed it, but I already had it. For example, my husband uses a specific body wash and he was almost out and said, we need more body wash. So I wrote it on the grocery list, we got it when we got groceries, and he was fine. And then not long after, I looked under the bathroom cabinet and there is a giant thing of his body wash that I had bought probably in a 2-pack forever ago. But it's so messy in the bottom of my bathroom cabinet, I had no idea. We also just recently bought freezer bags and, I thought we needed it, so I had a coupon. We bought 2 packs of them, and then as I was actually putting them away in the kitchen cabinet, I noticed I had bought a giant pack from Sam's Club where they sell bulk amounts of things. So I have like hundreds of Ziploc bags now. So I'm good for a while, but I didn't need to spend the money. So keeping your cabinets and your closets and all of that decluttered, it will kind of help you have an inventory on what you already have, and that way you don't go wasting money on things you actually didn't need. So my last tip for you guys, number 7, is visual reminders. I love inspo boards, which is an inspiration board, also known as a dream board, and I will probably do a separate video just on making an inspo board out of cork boards. It's a whole thing I'll show you later. But I think it's so nice to actually visually see something happening, and so there's a few different things I suggest when it comes to saving money on using visual aids, and one would be an inspo board or a dream board. You could print things off the internet or cut pictures out of a magazine of things that you really want to achieve by saving money. That could be, you really want to buy a house or a car. Maybe it's, putting money towards your kids, college fund. Just creating those images will give you something to look at and a reminder of why you're doing this. But then there's also other kinds of visual aids that I like when saving money. You could create kind of like a savings plan and have that written out, and so that every time you achieve that milestone, you got to $500 in this short amount of time, you can give yourself a star or a check, and that way you just really see the progress, and you don't have to just go look at your bank account number to be able to see the progress. You can, see it on your fridge every single day. Same goes for something like debt. You can list out all of your debt, hang it on the fridge, and that way you can mark out every time you pay off a credit card or a loan. So just giving yourself some visual things to look at, it will help remind you of why you're doing it and show you when you're achieving it. This is also something you can do if you do make a fun little competition out of it. You can have your competition on a piece of paper, and that way you can track who's winning. So anyway, those are just some ideas of how you could save money. If you have any ideas or tips and tricks, please put those in the comments below. I could definitely use them because it's gonna be a long year next year. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you like lifestyle and motherhood type videos. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!